So in the last 14 months, one of our clients put about $60,000 into marketing and pulled out $1.9 million in signed remodeling contracts, with roughly $590,000 of that being gross profit.
500 to $1 million project. And I'm signing all of these.
If you own a design build or remodeling company doing anywhere from $3 to $10 million, watch this case study. I have the numbers pulled up and I'm going to walk you through everything we did, the numbers, what actually happened. I'll show you everything on the screen, and then you can decide whether this makes sense for you to try in your market. I want to emphasize that this is for established remodeling companies. You need to have a sales team. You need to be using a CRM. You want to have an average ticket of at least 50,000 because again, those are the clients that we work with. That's what we specialize in. This is who that applies to. 14 months ago, Austin contractors had been stuck at around 3 million for about 3 years. And so in 2024, they actually dipped down to 1.7 million, which was the lowest they'd been since being in business.
The revenue, it was originally 3, it dropped to 1.7. So now what is it looking like?
If we sign all of these for next year, we're going to be at like 15 million.
Good company, they had strong work, they had happy clients, they had solid, reliable crews. The problem was just that they couldn't build enough business predictably and consistently to continue to grow, hire more people, and spend more on marketing. This is typical of most of the companies that we work with. Most of their work comes from referrals. Some months are great, some years are great. However, it can also be the vice versa. A lot of the times we get called whenever a company is trying to build more marketing channels and they're struggling, whether that be they're trying paid ads and they're wasting a bunch of money, or they've hired 3 marketing agencies and none of them seem to be producing any sort of result. That's when we get called. So the biggest thing that we needed to fix was having a repeatable way to attract customers. And these aren't just any type of customer. We wanted people who were sitting on $100,000, $150,000, $250,000 renovation. So we changed 3 things. One was how they show up in the market. 2 is who is even allowed on the calendar. And 3, what happens between the first call or the first site visit all the way to, hey, let's get the paper signed. Managing the follow-up process is where most remodelers leave a lot of money on the table. And so I'm going to walk you through how we fixed all 3 of these things. So first is positioning. So we stopped all sorts of advertising about general remodeling. Every piece of marketing had to start speaking directly to the homeowner with a major budget, with a major project, who is scared of hiring the wrong contractor. They've heard all these horror stories. They want to make sure that they're going to invest this kind of money, that they're getting exactly what they want. And so our marketing needs to speak to those customers. We are not trying to talk to people who want the lowest price. We are not trying to market very small, minor remodels. These are big renovations. This type of customer is worried about blown budgets, blown timelines, and disappearing crews and contractors who don't communicate. And so the goal was simple. We want to make Alston feel like the obvious premium choice before the first call even happens. This is where we built out the Google My Business page. We optimized that. We had to make sure that the website was dialed in. We had to have landing pages specific to each service for each service area so that everything was very specific and very tailor-made for that customer. Second was the qualification, right? So every single lead went through a really tight intake process. Before anyone drove across town, we needed their project type, their budget, their home value, if they had plans, their timeline, and who all the decision makers were for this project. If it was too small, if it was out of our area, the budget was really tight, it never hit the estimator's calendar. And that was something we really wanted to protect because, again, we want to make sure that we're spending all of our resources and priorities on the best projects, the best leads. We don't want to waste time doing a bunch of bids that aren't going to go anywhere. So we actually ended up getting 216 leads over 2025, and only 76 we actually converted into a site visit, meaning out of those 216 leads, the majority of them were actually disqualified so that we could preserve our salespeople's time for the best leads. A metric that you need to track, it's your booking rate. So how many leads turned into a book, design, consult, or site visit? In our case, it was 40%. Which is genuinely pretty good for this type of service where it's $100,000 or more for the average project. The average sales process for a remodeler or design builder can take anywhere from 3 months to a year. In our case, it was 3 months and 11 days. And before, they had no structured way of making sure we were staying top of mind and in touch with every single serious lead that came in. So over the 3 months and 11 days, which our average sales cycle was, we contacted the lead 13 times via SMS or email, and every single time was with a personalized message specific to the type of job that they were doing. So if it was an addition, it was, here's a checklist of things that you need to know before you do any sort of addition. Here's some additions that we did in your area or with a similar customer or similar scope that I thought you should check out. Here's some things that you need to worry about before, or you need to consider before getting an addition done that could save you tons of money. These are the types of ways that we were reaching out so that not only were we building rapport and trust, we were able to check in with the customers. And also, each one of those, we use what's called BAM, which is book a meeting from a meeting. And so every lead had a time that they knew that we were going to reach out to them again. And again, not in a pushy way, but in a way that shows like we genuinely care and we want to make sure you have an extremely amazing customer experience. Basically, a disciplined follow-up system. So solid opportunities didn't fall through the cracks while people were thinking about it or getting their financing ready. There is nothing fancy about this entire process. We just had clear positioning. We disqualified bad leads as quickly as possible, so we focused on the best ones, and we followed up religiously and in a way that actually brought our best customers closer to us rather than pushing them away. Here are the exact numbers that we produced over 14 months. On the screen, you'll see we had 216 qualified inbound leads. This is not counting phone calls. This is just landing page opt-ins and form submits from the website. Out of that, 76 were qualified that we booked and showed for a site visit, right? So this was whether it's a design consultation or just an introductory site visit. That's a 36% lead to appointment rate. Out of those 76 booked site visits, 23 turned into formal proposals where we sent them a detailed quote. And out of those 23 formal proposals, 13 turned into closed contracts, with another 11 or so still pending that may or may not close within the next couple of months. Those 13 jobs added up to $1.9 million in sales. One of the things that we wanted to focus on was only marketing jobs that we had a 30% gross margin on or more. And so the average gross margin percentage across the board for these projects was 31%, meaning about $590,000 in gross profit off of a $60,000 investment. We put $60,000 in and got about $600,000 back in gross profit, roughly a 9 to 10x return on every dollar in gross profit. On top of that, their average project size increased from roughly $170,000 to $214,000, meaning we did fewer jobs that were bigger and more profitable, which is the right way to scale a residential construction business. Okay, so if you're skeptical, you should be. I get it. You might be thinking, did they get lucky? Was it just good market, good timing? Are you taking credit for something that they did? Obviously, the reputation for sure helped close deals, but you have to remember that this company was plateaued at $3 million for 3 years in a row. They actually dropped to $1.7 million. And in 2025, they did $6.1 million, with almost $2 million being directly attributable to Facebook paid advertising. I want to make that very clear. We more than doubled their plateau in 1 year, the year after their lowest income earning year that they'd been in business. Okay. We have the data, the CRM, the ad accounts, the profit loss statements. You can speak to our clients one-on-one if you don't believe us, because again, we turn our most skeptical customers into our biggest advocates. This is what we do. We grow, design, build, and remodeling companies to $10 million, and that is what we focus on. This isn't a one-off thing either. In the past 3 years, we've closed $64 million in sales for our clients. We're in 18 different markets. We are not a cookie cutter marketing agency, and our results speak for themselves. I challenge you guys to hop on a call with us and see if we can provide value for you, because if you're a good fit for us, then I'm more than certain we can help you scale your company. We help build better processes so that the same team, the same market can produce 10 times the results. If you want better customers, higher margin projects, you want marketing that produces results consistently, and you're tired of these 90-day, 90 lead type companies, then book a call with us. You can do it somewhere down below. It'll take you to an application. You can fill that out and you'll speak to me directly. I'm the founder of this company. You'll see the value we can provide. You will see the results we get for our clients. You'll see the passion we have for what we do. And again, if remodelers or design builders didn't exist, neither would our company. So I appreciate every single one of you out there who's busting your ass, managing crews, getting shit done, because I know how hard it is, and I'm here to try and help make your life a little bit easier. So I appreciate you guys. On a call, we can run through your numbers, the same math you saw, and we can show you a realistic version of what this system would have produced for you in the last 12 months and what we can do for the next 12 months. We're a performance-based company, so we win when you win. I hope that this video was valuable. Book a call with us. I'm super excited to see you on the other side.